Top 5 Most Christian Heretical History. Starting with Gnosticism. Gnosticism is a collection of religious ideas and systems that coalesced in the late 1st century AD among early Christian sects. I sadly can't find who found Gnosticism, but let's go to the part why it is heresy. It denied that God created the world. Instead, it said a lesser evil, being the demiurge, made the material world, which Gnostics saw as evil. It rejected the incarnation. Many Gnostics didn't believe Jesus had a real human body. They said he only appeared human, a belief called Docetism. It claimed salvation came through secret knowledge gnosis rather than through Jesus' death, resurrection, and grace. The first Christian theology denied Gnosticism is the Church Fathers. The Church Fathers, early Church Fathers, Christian Fathers, were fathers of the Church, were ancient and influential Christian theologians and writers who established the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of Christianity. The historical period in which they worked became known as the patristic era and spans approximately from the late 1st to mid-8th centuries, a flourishing in particular during the 4th and 5th centuries, when Christianity was in the process of establishing itself as the state church of the Roman Empire. Arianism. Arianism is a Christological doctrine which rejects the traditional notion of the Trinity and considers Jesus to be a creation of God, and therefore distinct from God. It is named after its major proponent, Arius c. AD 256 to 336. It is considered heretical by most modern mainstream branches of Christianity. There's also been an legendary story that Saint Nicholas of Myra slapped the founder of Arianism called Arius. Nestorianism. Nestorianism is a term used in Christian theology and church history to refer to several mutually related but doctrinarily distinct sets of teachings. The first meaning of the term is related to the original teachings of Christian theologian Nestorius c. AD 450, who promoted specific doctrines in the fields of Christology and Mariology. The second meaning of the term is much wider and relates to a set of later theological teachings that were traditionally labeled as Nestorian, but differ from the teachings of Nestorius in origin, scope, and terminology. And here are the reasons why it is heresy. Nestorius taught that Jesus had two separate persons, one human and one divine, rather than being one person with two natures, divine and human. He also refused to call Mary Theotokos God-bearer, arguing she only gave birth to the human Jesus, not the divine Word, and who called it heresy. The Council of Ephesus was a council of Christian bishops convened in Ephesus near present-day Selçuk in Turkey in AD 431 by the Roman Emperor Theodosius II. Monophysitism. Monophysitism is a Christological doctrine that states that there was only one nature, the divine, in the person of Jesus Christ, who was the incarnated Word. 3. It is rejected as heretical by the Catholic Church, Eastern Orthodox Church, Anglicanism, Lutheranism, Reformed Christianity, Calvinist, and all mainstream Protestant denominations. Pelagianism. Pelagianism is a Christian theological position that holds that the fall did not taint human nature and that humans by divine grace have free will to achieve human perfection. Pelagius c. 355 c. 420 AD, an ascetic and philosopher from the British Isles, taught that God could not command believers to do the impossible, and therefore it must be possible to satisfy all divine commandments. He also taught that it was unjust to punish one person for the sins of another, therefore infants are born blameless. Pelagius accepted no excuse for sinful behavior and taught that all Christians, regardless of their station in life, should live unimpeachable, sinless lives. Once again, who called it heresy. Augustine of Hippo was a theologian and philosopher of Berber origin and the bishop of Hippo Regius in Numidia, Roman North Africa. His writings deeply influenced the development of Western philosophy and Western Christianity, and he is viewed as one of the most important church fathers of the Latin Church in the patristic period. His many important works include The City of God, On Christian Doctrine, and Confessions. That's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. May God bless you.